yoga for strength and movement. So today's class, we're really going to be focused on finding that movement within our body. Instead of just keeping our poses still, we want to make sure that we find that movement within our body so we can really connect to ourselves. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and begin. You won't need anything, just yourself. Let's start in a child's pose. And take your knees wide apart to start, resting on our foreheads, stretching the arms nice and long in front of us. Find that intention for today's practice. And on our next inhale, let's go ahead and come forward to our upward facing dog. Very deep back bend. If you like, you can pick up your thighs off the ground. Look back behind you towards your right. Back to center. Look behind you towards your left. Back to center. And let's exhale, child's pose. Taking a few flows. Movement, that's what today's practice is about. Inhale, upward facing dog. Opening up our heart. Chest, our shoulders back behind our ears, down and away from our ears. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, child's pose. A few more. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, upward dog, open up. Last one, exhale, child's pose. Make sure our big toes are touching together. Take a breath, and let's come forward into our tabletop position. Warming up our spine, cat-cow, drop the belly, inhale, cat. Exhale, cow. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. Chest. Exhale, tuck the belly in, arch the back nice and high like a cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. We're moving our spine in two opposite directions. So creating that movement in our body throughout today's practice. Come to a neutral spine. On the next inhale, raise the right arm up, look up towards the right arm. Exhale, thread it under the left. We're gonna thread our needle. Stretch your left arm. Reach it in front of you as much as you can. And we're opening up our right shoulder. This is really good for our upper back, especially if we have weight carried down on our shoulders throughout the day. If we're sitting at our computers, behind the desks, on our phones, behind technology, this will help release tension throughout our upper body. On the next inhale, slowly come on back up to a tabletop. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale it under the right, thread the needle. Stretch the right arm as much as you can in front of you, reaching as far away as you can with those fingertips. Opening up our left shoulder now. And this should feel really good on that upper back. Really feel your your shoulder blades open. On the next inhale, slowly come back up into tabletop position. We'll come into puppy pose, so we're still in the same position as a tabletop with our legs. Hips are stacked over the knees. Reach our arms nice and long in front of you as much as you can, resting on your forehead. And let's go ahead and stretch our triceps by taking our hands into prayer behind the back of our neck. The next inhale, slowly release the arms back in front of you. Come on up into tabletop position. Slowly hover the knees above the ground. Exhale into downward facing dog. Inhale, hover the knees. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, hover the knees. Exhale, downward dog. What we're doing here is we're warming up our core, warming up our hamstrings before we go into a full extension of that downward dog. Remember, creating movement in the body. The more movement we create, the more aware our body becomes. The more connected our mind and body are together, the more in balance we are, the more in harmony. And when our mind and body is in balance, that brings happiness. Stretching in that downward dog. Go ahead, shift forward into plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Go ahead and step your left foot forward. Pivot your toes so that they're facing the front of your mat, both of them. We're coming into our wide-legged standing forward fold. And make sure that we point the toes a little inward to protect our knees. Just slightly pointed inward. And in our forward fold, you can grab your opposite feet. If your hands are on the ground, that's perfectly fine. Feel free to bend your knees a little for a slight bend. Maybe coming all the way down eventually to the crown of our head, so that the crown of our head faces Mother Earth. This is really good because it's an inversion, gaining all the wonderful benefits, stretching our calves at the same time, our thighs opening up. In the inhale, let's grab the outer left leg with both of our hands. Look up towards the sky and feel this really good stretch in our body. You should feel it throughout your right side of your back. You should feel it on your legs, the outer part of your legs. Really opening up and twisting. Center, and inhale, come back to the other side, right side now. So we're stretching the left side of our body. And this is really good for our immune system. Whenever we're twisting our body, we're detoxifying. Really good for our health, helping us to prevent and fight off diseases. Inhale, come back into center. Wide-legged stand, forward standing fold. Slowly bend the knees, come on up. Roll it back up. Head comes last. And let's go ahead and jump to the front of our mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. We're in our standing forward fold, Uttanasana. Taking a couple deep breaths rest in this pose. Maybe finding movement, rocking side to side with the arms, letting the head dangle heavy, the arms are heavy, letting the body be loose so that we can release all tension in our back. Grabbing opposite elbows is also an option, ragdoll. And taking the movement as slow or as fast as you like. Slowly inhale, roll the spine up, vertebrae at a time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, step back into plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, raise the right leg up. We're in our three-legged dog. Square the hips by making sure you flex your right foot so that your hips are even. Bend the right leg. Roll it over towards the left side, opening up that right hip. So you should feel a stretch. And if you're comfortable, release, flip your dog, also known as wild thing. And let's open up our hearts, our body, stretching the right side. Building strength, healing in this pose, stretching our obliques. Exhale, calm down. Inhale, up. Exhale, drop your tailbone down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. One more. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Hold your wild thing. Let's come back into our three-legged dog. Step the right leg forward. Step the left leg forward. Standing forward fold. Slowly roll the spine up into standing. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, step back into plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Hold for a breath. And we're going to take our wild thing on the other side. So lifting the left leg up, three-legged dog. Flex the foot so we square our hips. Slowly bend the left leg. Open the left hip. And if you're comfortable, release into your wild thing, flip dog. We're opening up our left side body. And let's find movement. So inhale, drop the body down. Exhale, up. Inhale, drop the body down. Exhale, stretch it up. Inhale, down. Exhale, up. One more. Inhale, down. Exhale, up. Hold. Let's go ahead and come back into our three-legged dog. Step the left leg forward. Right leg forward into standing forward fold. Inhale. Roll the spine up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Step back into plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Holding for a couple deep breaths. You should feel your body nice and warmed up. Maybe feeling that sweat. Bringing lots of energy to our body for the day. knees to the ground. Sit on your shins. And let's go ahead and stretch our ankles. By coming up to our ankles, sitting nice and tall, grabbing our hands below the front of our ankles. And let's find movement and pulse our legs up and down. Maybe pulsing just one leg at a time. Stretching our ankles and creating lots of mobility so that we strengthen those joints and those muscles around our ankles. This is also good for helping to improve our posture. Sitting up nice and tall. Creating lots of fluidity and movement. Drop the knees down. Tuck your toes, sit on your toes. And let's go ahead and face your fingertips to face towards your body. And now let's stretch our wrists. So, moving the body, pulsing it forward and back. Maybe you'd like to go side to side. And now we're stretching our wrists as we did with our ankles. Creating lots of mobility and movement and strength around our wrists, our fingers. This is really good for us too when we're behind the computers, when we're on our phones. Really enjoy this stretch, this asana. Stillness now, sitting in hero pose. Swing your legs in front of you. And roll all the way back. Let's take our wheel pose, placing the soles of your feet on the ground. The heels come as close to your buttocks as possible. Hands behind you. And on the inhale, let's go ahead and lift our body up. Maybe coming on the tippy toes. Opening up our heart. Deep back bend, stretching our back, stretching our thighs, our hamstrings, our quads. Slowly inhale, release. Careful with the neck. Release. Let's stay in our reclined hero pose. Now, careful with this one. If you do have any knee issues, feel free to come on up to your elbows so that you don't feel the intensity as much, the stretch. Or you can just sit in a seated. Whatever's comfortable for you. The outside of your calves, the calves are on the outside of your thighs, and we're opening up our hips, we're opening up our heart, feeling that sensation within our body. Letting our hearts open up to the world. We're slowing down our breath now towards the end of this practice. So coming now to find stillness in our body. You've warmed up the body today, stretched it out, strengthened our bodies. Slowly come on up first to the elbows, then come on up to seated. Slowly release the legs in front front of you, and let's roll onto our backs. Using your abs, suck your abs in, coming one vertebrae down at a time. Hug the knees into the chest. And thank yourself for being here today, for doing the best thing that you can do for your body, for your mind, and for your health. Slowly release the legs. Roll onto your fetal position, your favorite side. No rush. Taking a couple breaths before you come into your seated position. We'll come into our seated hero pose. Ending with a few deep breaths. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, take your thumbs to your third eye, between your two eyebrows. Thanking yourself for being here today. Take your hands to your chest, to your heart, and take your hands down to Mother Earth. Hands back to heart. The light in me ignites the light in all of you. Namaste. Thank you, everyone, and I hope you enjoyed today's practice.